What is going on, guys? This is Versatile Gaming with my review of Strike the Blood episode 24. And this episode, it seemed very simple to me, and also seemed rather short as well. I don't know why, but I just feel that way. But overall, this episode, it was definitely interesting, and I did enjoy it a lot. So the episode, it starts off with Yukina here, and she's having this very strange dream where we see her weapon is actually broken, and we now have Kojo saying goodbye to her and now walking away. And so, of course, now she wakes up and she was wondering what she was going to say because right as Kojo was leaving her, she was going to say something, but she woke up. So now we go to we're on the train heading to school, and she asks Kojo, if she disappeared, what would he do or how would he feel? And he was saying that she already went away on that training camp, and he was saying that if she did go away, then it would be easier on them both. And of course, now Yukina. She did not like those words at all, so she got very upset, and that was obvious. But Kojo here, even when he was trying to apologize to her, she just wasn't listening. And so now we go to when Yukina's in class, and they're having gym, and we see his sister Nagisa. We see now that she's trying to jump over this pole, and rather than jumping over it, she jumps right into it. And so of course that hurts. Yukina was thinking back to what Kojo was saying when it was her turn, and we see now that she was able to jump over that thing perfectly, and everybody was praising her for it. And when she said that she was thinking about something, they were all surprised that she could jump so well, even when something was on her mind. And so now we go to after gym is over. She's in the locker room changing, and just out of nowhere we see this spell kind of going off, and we see somebody actually appears, and this person, whoever it is, we see now that they attack Yukina with a spell that we've seen her actually use before, and this person was clearly naked. You can tell, even though they try to shadow it out, you can just tell that the person was naked. And so now we go to Sayaka and Vautler. And we see now that Vautler here, he was actually sensing a very strong magical source, and he mentioned a dragon of sorts. And now we see while they were talking, they had clearly sensed something, and they had went to go investigate. But I will get into that later. We now go to Kojo, and what was that guy name? Mo Toki, yeah, him, or Yuzu. And we see now that Yuzu here, he was talking about Yukihina, and of course he was complimenting her. And we see now when he mentioned her being a bit of a ditz, we see that Yukina here actually walks into a door, and it was funny. But of course we all know that right there was not the real Yukina. And right away Kojo had went to her, and when they were talking, this Yukina impersonator, I guess you could call her, she was acting very weird. And we see that she was saying things that the real Yukina here would not be saying. She had mentioned something about Yuze hair, saying that he should cut back on the hair dye. He also called Asagi Doc, and of course he called Nagisa her aunt. And we see now that when Natsuki came, she had Yukina impersonator had realized that the Natsuki in her time did not grow at all, and of course now she's the same as she was in the future. And so out of nowhere we just see Natsuki put her hand on this fake Yukina's breast, and it was just hilarious. How everybody was staring, and even Kojo was freaking out. But this fake Yukina, she was getting so worked up, and we see that when Kojo look at her, her eyes are red. So now she runs off, and of course Kojo actually chases after her, and we see now that it was her vampire urges. So rather than being like Kojo, when he gets horny, the urges get worked up. When she gets really excited, this fake Yukina, her urges get worked up. And they made it so obvious about who she is, but I don't know why didn't anybody pick up on this. But we see now that when she calms down, the other Yukina, she now appears, and of course she's still wearing her gym clothes because her school uniform is being worn by this fake. And I forgot to mention about Vautler and Sayaka. When they had wanted to go investigate what was going on, they found this kind of portal of sorts that was linking out magic power. And we see Vautler here had wanted to test his power, and he summoned a new snake that I'm pretty sure that we had not seen before. And when he sent it down, we see out of nowhere this dragon rises up from it, And so now the dragon here kind of has like a similar magic to Natsuki, where it could like teleport. Because I believe that that magical sensation, or the animation for the magic power to use, it was like very similar to Natsuki's. And so now the dragon, it actually went after Kojo, and we see now that when it first appeared, everybody who we all know deal with like magic kind of stuff, they could sense it, like Natsuki and Yuze, and even Asagi here. Well, you know what? Screw it. Everybody sensed it, but only the real people that like deal with like magic, only they knew what was going on. And so because of that, Natsuki, she had to quickly act, and she used her dimension magic to make a barrier around them so that nobody could see it or sense it. And so now we have the dragon here that they have to deal with, and of course Yukino were actually going to fight it, and Kojo as well. But we see at one point the dragon here uses its magic. It's kind of like teleportation, where it had went to go attack Kojo, but this other Yukino had pushed them away. And we see now that she was impaled by the dragon tail. And of course now anybody would think that she would die from that, because we saw her lose a ton of blood. And of course now this like dragon here had attacked Kojo, and it seems to like steal some of this magic, and he was definitely in no condition to fight. So only Yukino here could compete with it. And so when she was fighting it, we see that the dragon, its skin was like a lot tougher than it looked, and also its magical power was like definitely strong. It actually broke her weapon. And so now that she couldn't really fight, we have the other Yukino who actually summons her own, her own kind of spear or lance, whatever you want to call it. She actually summoned hers. And we see now that hers is like similar to Yukino's in design, but color and power wise is definitely different, as she was able to even hurt this dragon. And so now we have her dealing with it, and she actually chased the dragon off. And we see now that right before she was going to spill the beans a little bit, we have Natsuki appearing before them, and they both call her Natsuki-chan, which like caused her to hit them both. And that right there was like definitely hilarious. But now she was saying that this girl should keep her mouth shut, and she'll keep an eye on her, even though it's obvious who she is. She's obviously the daughter of Kojo and Yukino. So I mean, they kind of confirmed this like shit right here, like this pairing is now real. They just confirmed it. It might not be happening now, but it's definitely going to happen. And of course, with her being a daughter, I do wonder why they couldn't pick that up. Because obviously there were some key differences, just like Kojo said, between them, but at the same time it should have been obvious in the first place. And so now with Natsuki watching over their daughter, I'm pretty sure she like realizes it. We see now that Valter and Sayaka, they had came to deal with that dragon, but it was too late as it ran off. And now Satsuki here. Not, oh my god, what am I saying, Satsuki? I'm thinking about Kill la Kill. Sorry, I should reviewed that earlier, so it's still in my mind. I was Yukino. She had recalled what her daughter had said to her, and it's about the harder she is, the more fragile she'll become, and the more easily she'll break, and she'll break the others around her. So Yukino was like thinking about that, and of course that right there was like really haunting her at the end, because with her weapon gone, it seemed that it could not be repaired that easily like it was in the last episode, because she was saying that even this time the core was broken. So I forgot the way they were broken in the other episode. But we see now that right now it broke on a much bigger scale, and clearly it's not gonna be that easy. And we see now that when she goes home, we see that when she packs up the weapon, this guy who looks like to be like an average delivery boy, he seems to, well, it's obvious that he has some connection to this organization. And not only is he going to take her luggage, which I'm guessing is the weapon of hers, but he also hands her this letter. And this letter read that, they had want her to return. And so now Yukino here might be leaving. And it's so weird that we're like going in this direction, even though the series is supposed to be ending next week. I'm guessing, or I'm hoping, that this right here could lead to a season 2. Now, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I would just love it if this series got a season 2. Because I do like it a lot, which is why I'm reviewing it for you all, and I have been for the last couple of months. So if this series got a season 2, then I will definitely, read that as well. But it seems that might be the case, because I'm pretty sure that they can't wrap up this series, with the dragon still around, and this other Yukina who's their daughter, and with the real Yukina leaving, I'm pretty sure that they can't wrap that up in like one episode. So hopefully, that they will announce a season 2, because I would just love that. But like I said, this episode, it was good. We had some mystery going on, even though I'm pretty sure anybody can figure it out. And with the series ending next week, I am hoping for a season 2, because I just don't see them wrapping this all up. It's just one episode, especially with their arcs going past 2 episodes. So it could be that we're getting a season 2. Now maybe you guys might know more than I do. It's possible that they already announced that, but I have no idea. But overall, this episode, like I said, was pretty freaking good. I would love to hear what you guys thought about it as well, so please let me know. But as always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. And you guys take it easy. I'll see you all next time.